the night burning bright, yeah, no stop. Wheels scream and spit that fire, dirt and gravel, they pop. Oil slick under the street lights, the shadows start to dance. Adrenaline like thunder, man, give me that last chance. Wednesday night, street fights, racing for the win. Broken steel and busted dreams, we wear it on our skin. Smell the fumes, taste the danger, hold tight to the wheel. This ain't no love song, baby, this is raw real. Crowds gather up like wolves, howling for that speed. Races blood pumping fast, gasoline is all they need. Tracks alive like a monster, the dirt flies and bends. Ruthless turns, heart turns savage till the night ends. Wednesday night, street fights, racing for the win. Broken steel and busted dreams, we wear it on our skin. Smell the fumes, taste the danger, hold tight to the wheel. This ain't no love song, baby, this is raw real. Underneath the moonlight, crowds roar so loud. Pride's in the throttle, not in faces of a crowd. A brotherhood of metal, sweat, gears that grind. Cross that line or get left behind. Cold air cuts the dawn, still our fires rage. Holding bruises like trophies, exhaling battle cage. The stands are empty now, but the ghosts they remain. This dirt track story sings forever in our veins. Wednesday night, street fights, racing for the win. Broken steel and busted dreams, we wear it on our skin. Smell the fumes, taste the danger, hold tight to the wheel. This ain't no love song, baby, this is raw real. This is raw real.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome in. As we get ready to rock and roll, we get ready to go to battle here this afternoon from the beautiful Cedar Lake Speedway. It is the Dirt Warrior Racing Wednesday night street fights back in action here this evening as each and every one of these drivers ready to go to battle, ready to duke it out here this evening, and we welcome each and every one of you into what's going to be another thrilling and very exciting broadcast this afternoon. Thomas coming in, says hello Aaron, and cheering on chat. Pooterbo here this afternoon. Thomas coming in, showing the love there with that like on the stream. As ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, even if you're re-watching the broadcast and you're just re-watching it, you haven't already, make sure you guys do us a favor. Hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that follow and subscribe button right now. Make sure you guys do it right now for us. Hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that follow and subscribe button as we get ready to go to battle. Qualifying underway right now, and each and every one of these drivers getting ready to duke it out, ready to go to battle here this evening. Is Blake Doyle, what's good, Blake? Blake coming in, showing the love, says I heart Peacemaker Gaming. We heart you, Blake, up in the chat. chat coming in, showing the love here in this one, as each and every one of these drivers getting ready to go to battle, getting ready to duke it out here this evening. What's going to be a very fun, very exciting night of racing action. Let's go, Craig Michael Deacon. What's good, Craig? Craig coming in, showing the love as well with that like on the stream. What's good, brother? Craig coming in, dropping that like and says, let's fucking go up in the chat. Blake Doyle with the thumbs up on the broadcast as well over there on Facebook. I appreciate that, fellas, coming in, showing the love. As drivers out there on the racetrack, they are ready to get ready to rumble here this afternoon. A little bit of qualifying action underway as we do see Cody Horton. Cody out there on the Speedway. Good to see Cody out there on the racetrack in that 22 ride, as he's currently sitting in the 21st position, just outside the top 20 cutoff line here this afternoon. A lot of drivers laying down lap times, a lot of drivers trying to put themselves inside the top 20 here this evening, trying to race their way into the show here this evening. Unfortunately, some of them are going to go. Some of them will not compete in our 65-lap A-main feature event, as Vicky Schuller, Mama Schuller, coming in showing the love, says, let's go, Chad. Cheering on Chad and all of these amazing DWR rides here this evening, as this is going to be a lot of fun. This is going to be some great racing action, as Thomas, my boy, coming in with that heart reaction, showing the big love there over on Facebook, as well as, woo, baby! Oh, Cedar Lake. This is such a fun racetrack. It can really go to the high side out there on the Speedway, but I know these dirt street stocks and the way the DWR crew kind of get these tracks rolled in. We're going to see a couple different lines. We're going to see drivers trying to roll maybe the slide job lane down through 3 and 4 up against the fence there in 1 and 2 late in the race, but early on we're going to see them kind of trying to either hug those tires or maybe keep it in the middle of the racetrack, and that's where you really run into a lot of problems, where that middle side really starts to slick off in a quick hurry, makes you kind of jump out of your comfort zone, start moving around the racetrack, and it also creates a little bit of a different atmosphere when, you start hitting those bumps, you start bouncing through the corners and everything else. It can really get you bent out of shape in a quick hurry out there on the Speedway. As a quick warm-up session, these drivers are going to jump out onto the racetrack. They're going to lay down some lap times here. They're going to make sure their cars are ready to rock and roll, ready to go to battle here this evening, as we do see the 28 ride, Cam Thompson. Cam jumping out there onto the racetrack. Going to see Mr. Thompson out there on the Speedways. Thomason. Hopefully I'm getting that right, Cam, in that 28, as once again, I don't know what's going on here with iRacing the last little while. Seems like their lights take a little while to kick on here. It seems like it is always super dark out there on the racetrack for this warm-up session, and as we roll closer and into the nighttime, those lights turn back on and look really good out there on the Speedway, as we do see Tyler Jackson jumping out there. Here comes David Kologi, hopefully I'm saying that right, probably getting it completely wrong, but the 112 with David out there on the racetrack as well. We do see Justin Litchie out there in the number 2 ride, the Dirt Hustlers ride. Litchie out there on the Speedway. We do see Terry Henry as well, the 14 ride. That is the full throttle number 18 ride, or 14 ride out there on the racetrack. We see Cody Wright out there as well. A beautiful looking TNT Racing 5.6 graphics ride out there on the Speedway. Good to see Cody out there on the racetrack. The 76, that's Brandon Van Houten. Brandon out there on the racetrack. Brandon looking to have a good day here at the Speedway in that Hot Carl Chassis Napa Auto Parts and number 76 ride, currently second quickest here in this one. Hannah Ownby, hopefully I'm saying that right, in the Lightning McQueen number 19 ride. Hannah looking good out there on the Speedway, and a little ka-chow out there on the racetrack as well, as they get that 91 ride rolling out there on the racetrack. Kane Whitley, jumps out there in the Marlboro number 18 ride. You do see that 17 right there in the middle. That's the 17 of Dan Stifler, trying to race his way up the leaderboard here, hoping to have a big night at the racetrack. Evan Monaghan, he's out there as well. Monaghan rolling there in 17th. Mike Stockton back there currently 18th. All these drivers getting their last little bit here in this one, as Jacob Sexton says, not a cocky Floyd car in sight. Yeah, I didn't really hear much of it. I saw a little bit on the one post. I don't know what the verdict was or what was going on with that. But yeah, no Cocky Floyd cars out there. Definitely a sight to see in a dirt street stock race. Not seeing any of the any of the original House of Speed or NLR rides out there. No Jimmy Massey, no Keith Hackney, none of the Cocky Floyd competitors out there. It doesn't almost seem like a street stock race without those guys out there. But we do have the OGs with Champ Puderbo and Tyler Jackson and a few of our other DWR rides out there like Jackie Whaley in the 720 ride and that 304 Roots machine sliding out there onto the Speedway. Jeremy Aikens out there as well. Going to see Jeremy out there on the racetrack in his DWR number 7 machine. Dan Stifler, Marco's Pace out there as well. Marco's looking to have another big run here this afternoon in his beautiful number 47 ride all the way from Australia. Jumping in, having some fun here this evening is Mr. Marshall. What's good, Austin? Austin coming in with that heart reaction and the share on the broadcast comes in, says, what's good, Marshall? How are you, brother? How you doing this afternoon, my boy? Hopefully you're having yourself a wonderful day. As Lori also coming in, showing the love with the like on the stream. How are you, Lori? Hopefully you're having yourself a great Wednesday afternoon hump day here, halfway through the work week here for everybody, and that means we're one day closer to potentially seeing that weekend and being able to enjoy a couple days off from the work grind and until we go back to work on Mondays. Never a good day. Mondays are never that much fun. You do see that beautiful looking DWR iRacing iFlag ride. That is Lon Franks out there on the racetrack. That is a beautiful looking JRE machine out there on the Speedway. Currently quickest here in this warm-up session. T-Jack back there behind him. Tyler Jackson in his DWR ride currently sits in that second spot with Brandon Van Houten, Chad Puderbo, and Hannah Ownby. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Ownby in position number 5 out there on the Speedways. What's good, dude guy? Dude guy coming in, showing the love. What's good, brother? How are you? How you doing? How you doing this afternoon? Hopefully you're having yourself a wonderful day. Dude guy coming in, showing the love with the like on the stream and the heart in the chat as well. I appreciate that, brother. Showing the love here in this one. As this is going to be a lot of fun. This is going to be another good night. A lot of good racing action here in 65 laps of green flag battling out there on the racetrack. Is this warm-up session going to come to a close here? It's going to finish up, and that means we'll get ready to set the stage here this evening for our A-main feature event where we're going to see 20-plus drivers get ready to duke it out for 65 laps of racing action here at Cedar Lake Speedway for what will be a interesting afternoon at the racetrack. We can see things going very good. We can see things going very bad in a heartbeat out there on the Speedway. Is Mama Bear in the chat as well. How are you, Mama Bear? Susie Dickinson coming in, showing the love. How are you, Mama Bear? Coming in with that heart reaction. And Connor New, what's good, Mr. New? Connor coming in as well with that like on the broadcast. How are you, Mr. New? How you doing this afternoon, young lad? Connor, that makes we don't see Connor out there on the racetrack. Connor is normally jumping into these things and jumping in and doing good and winning races, and amazed we don't see Connor out there on the racetrack right now. As here we go, we'll get the stage set. Our A-main feature event about to get underway, and starting on the pole, it's a pair of DWR rides at the front of the field. It's Tyler Jackson, T-Jack the Alpha Shark, who will start in that top spot to his outside. In that DWR iRacing iFlag number 10, it's Lon Franks. Starting in that third position in that 47 ride, the TNT Racing 5.6 graphics ride, it's Marco's Pace. That's going to start in third. The DWR number 7 ride, that is Jeremy Aikens back and forth. In the Dirt Warrior Racing 304 Route 720 ride of Jackie Whaley will start in position number 5. To his outside in that 33, it's Jared McCombs. McCombs will start back there in 6 and starting in position number 7 in the 76. That is that Twisted Speed Carl Chassis number 76 of Brandon Van Houten. To his outside, the Marlboro number 18, that is Kane Whitley. Whitley will start in 8th. Then we see the 20 ride, the DWR machine of Chad Puderbo, the 4 of Ryan Howard, the 112 of David Kologi. Hopefully I'm getting that right. Justin Litchie there in position number 12. Kevin Boyle back there in position number 13. Cody Wright to his outside there as we see Hannah Owenby, Dan Stifler, Cam Thompson, There's no P in there. Thompson in position number 17. Terry Henry there to his outside in the number 14 right. Then we see Jim Revis, Mike Stockton, Evan Monaghan, and Blake Doyle bringing up the rear of the field in the 38 machine as we will end all the anticipation with our feature presentation. Live here with the Dirt Warrior Racing Wednesday night street fights in the beautiful Cedar Lake Speedway. Out in front, leading lap number 1, it is that DWR rider, Tyler Jackson. T-Jack leads the way early on here with Lon Franks right there in tow, trying to hunt him down. Marcos Pace back there in position number 3, looking to try to slide his way around that 7 machine and get himself a little farther out in front, but we see that caution flag fly, so we'll stack him up, we'll rack him up, and we'll do it all over again, as it looks like Kevin Boyle, I don't know how he pronounces it. Kevin Bowley maybe out there in that number 30 ride. Looks like he may run into some issues here as he rolls down through the middle. It's Jim Revis down low, the 14 right up on the high side. Looks like they're just going to run out of room coming down into corner number 3. They get tied together. He gets slow and stopped on the racetrack, and unfortunately for the Tommy Gun Customs number 30 machine, pulls it down to the inside and takes that car right down pit side. Obviously some damage and handling issues there for that 30 machine, and already running into issues early on in this one. See if we can take another look at it here, see if we can get another angle and see the contact and the damage that was created here, and see if that 14 ride came down or if the 30 ride just kind of ran out of room out there. Maybe just good hard racing. He's trying to come up the 14. I guess could have gave him a little bit more room down low, but just looks like they kind of just run out of room. Unfortunate contact right there. Both drivers come together. Takes that 14 right and the 30 right down to the infield. And unfortunately, these infield tires that kind of berm out here on the bottom side of the quarters, they do not move. They're virtually concrete down there. When you start hopping and skipping and jumping over top of them, it can do a lot of damage in a quick hurry. And that's where we see that 30 right head down pit side. As we quickly go back to green flag racing out there on the racetrack, Tyler Jackson leads the way. T-Jack out in front in that Dirt Panda number 822 ride. Lon Franks rolls there in second with Marcos Pace back in third. He's been able to clear that 7 machine of Jeremy Aikens as Aikens trying to hold on to that 4 spot, and Jackie Whaley currently rounding out our top 5. Brandon Van Houten goes from 7th to 6th here early in this race and trying to keep himself there in that 6th position, but wanting to race and hunt his way inside the top 5 here this afternoon. It's Jared McCombs there in 7th. Kane Whitley back in 8th. Chad Puderbo and David Kologi in that 112 ride, rounding out our top 10. Ryan Howard, Justin Leachy, Cody Wright, Dan Stifler, Terry Henry rounding out our top 15. That's where we see Jim Revis in that DWR Dirt Panda. iRacing iFlying number 57 right back here. He's trying to work to the outside of Terry Henry for that 15th position. Trying to keep on moving himself forward here, as right now he is the hard charger, already up 4 spots early in this race, going from deeper in the field now up inside the top 15 here for that number 57 machine. So Jim working his way up to the front here as Terry Henry falls back there into that 16th position. Hannah Ownby back in 17th. And Evan Monaghan rolls there in 18th. And Blake Doyle, it's crazy when we see Blake Doyle get a little farther closer to the front of the field here, is that Conkey Floyd Consulting number 38 ride rolls back in the 19th position. Mike Stockton there in 20th, as unfortunately looks like Kevin Bowley and Cam Thompson taking their rides off the racetrack here early on in this one. Tough break for both of those competitors down and off the racetrack, and neither of them have rejoined the racing surface, so we're down to 20 drivers here in this A main feature event. Is James Beavers. What's good, James? James comes in, says, missed this week. See you next week, maybe. Hopefully we see you out there. Hopefully we see you back out there next week, James. We miss you out there on the racetrack, brother. As Mama Bear says, come on, Tyler Jackson. Cheered on T-Jack and Jim Revis and Lon Franks, and also cheered on Chad Puderbo and everybody else pretty much out there on the speedways. Right now we do see a good battle at the front of the field. What's good, Philip? Mr. Sexton coming in, showing the love with that like on the stream. What's good, Philip? Philip coming coming in, showing the love here, and James Beavers also dropping that like on the stream here. We appreciate that, fellas, coming in, showing the love, dropping those reactions, hitting that like button, hitting that share button, hit that follow and subscribe button. Is Tyler Jackson looking to try to hang on to the race lead? Lon Franks looking to take it away, goes for the slide jump down through corner 1 and 2. A beautiful crossover right there from Tyler Jackson as they continue to battle here at the front of the field. Slide jumps and crossovers here between the top 2 competitors this afternoon. Another big slider right there down through 1 and 2. T-Jack tees him up perfectly here, looking to try to keep himself out in front and continue to try to keep pace and keep this race lead, not letting Lon Franks take it away from him here in this one without a fight. As Mark goes pace back there in that 3rd position. Jackie Whaley now up into position number 4, and Brandon Van Houten now joins us in the top 5. As unfortunately Jeremy Aiken sliding back a few spots into 7th now in that 7 ride, as Jared McCombs able to get around him, and we see the caution flag come back out as a little bit of a parking lot down here in corner number 3 and 4. A little bit of a parking lot here, drivers bound together, a lot of drivers getting tore up. Chad Puderbo, he's collected in that one. Everyone trying to fight their way through it and keep themselves on the lead lap as our 2nd caution flag of the day is going to fly. So the yellow flag coming back out. Let's take a quick look and see what happens here to this one. Looks like maybe a little contact, a little damage right here as oh, yeah, down low. Look at the 112 ride. He's going to wash up the racetrack here. Unfortunately, not quite clear of that 20 ride of Chad Puderbo. They just run out of room. Oh, nowhere to go for the 4. The 2 ride piles in there. And then everyone else down through corner 3 and 4 just trying to keep themselves out of it here. Dan Stifler, he's right in the middle of it, kind of getting bounced around, getting some damage into the 91 ride as everyone just trying to survive down the back straightaway and through this traffic. You see that 4 ride after the initial contact getting airborne, goes over those infield tires. He goes up the track here. That's where you see Jim Revis, the 2, the 91. They're all trying to get through there. They just kept sliding into it. More and more drivers getting tore up out there on the racetrack. We'll get them stacked up, racked up, ready to go back to green flag racing. T-Jack scored as our race leader, so he'll be the control car here on the restart, getting ready to go back to battle here this afternoon. As down through corner number 3 and out of 4, the green flag back out into the air here for Tyler Jackson. T-Jack quickly back onto the lap pedal. Here comes Marco's pace down low, looking to take that TNT racing ride into victory lane here this afternoon. Does he have a little extra left in the tank here, where maybe using that caution flag may be able to jump up in battle for position number 2, but quickly slides back into 3rd as it looks like that outside lane once again starting to prove as the fastest way around the racetrack. That seems to be where everyone's slowly but surely migrating to, especially down through quarter 1 and 2, down through 3 and 4. It's either rolling a little bit of that slide job lane or rolling up a little higher there through the middle of the racetrack. Not quite up to the wall yet in 3 and 4 as the caution flank will come back out. The 91 right here running into some issues. So unfortunately here for Lightning McQueen, unfortunately not going to be lightning quick to avoid this one. It looks like down into corner number 3 and 4, just gets loose right there. Loses that rear end and just the car's going to go around. Steps out on Hannah here on the racetrack. A tough break there for that Rust Ease number 91 machine. Down low right here, just know if he gets onto the brake there a little bit too much or whatnot, but nonetheless, car's just going to step out, go around. Doesn't look like a whole lot of contact or damage for anybody, and the 91 will get pointed back in the right direction, and we'll get ready to go back to green flag racing. So our third caution flag there, single car incident down through corner number 3 and 4, and that will get us lined up and ready to roll here once again for the next caution, or the next green flag out there on the Speedway. Another green flag about to come right at you here in just a couple more moments, and the fun just about to pick back up here for all these amazing drivers. It's going to get real fun real quick as T-Jack Tyler Jackson continue to lead the way. Already 18 laps out of 65 off the board here, and still a lot of time, a lot of racing action, still 40 plus laps out there on the Speedway. We're looking at what, 47 laps left here of this race. That's a lot of laps, a lot of time out there to make your way from the back of the field to the front of the pack here. A lot of time to still kind of roll out a game plan on what you want to do. Whether or not you want to try to save a little tire for late in this race, try to play it a little bit more cautiously here in the first half, and then go a little harder there in that second half and see if you can use a little bit of that extra tire to race your way up to the front of the field and maybe steal this win away from that number 8 ride of Tyler Jackson, as T-Jack once again sees another green flag fly quickly onto the lap pedal, looking to try to separate himself from the rest of the field, looking to give himself a little bit of a breather here between him and that 10 right along Franks. Franks right there in tow, both drivers hooked up there, rolling the outside groove around Cedar Lake Speedway, as here comes Marco's pace. He's right there trying to follow in line with them, rolling a little bit lower as you do see the 10 right along Franks gets up into the outside fence there pretty good. Hopefully not too much damage for that 10 machine. As Brandon Van Houten right there as well. Jackie Whaley still trying to roll that middle to bottom groove here on the Speedway. Same with Jared McCombs, as McCombs trying to find his way up towards the front of the field, and a little deeper in the field you do see some drivers starting to move forward here. The TNT Racing 5-6 Graphics number 4 ride, that is Cody Wright right now into the 8th position. He's starting to move his way up through the field here. Jim Revis right there as well as Dan Stifler. Jim, he's up about 10 spots on the Speedway in that iRacing iFlag Dirt Warrior Racing JRE Grumpy Graphics number 57 ride, as he rolls in that 10th position, and they stack up in front of him. Jackie Whaley turned around, some more damage to the 2, gets turned around. Oh brother, more hits here for a bunch of these drivers. Nowhere to go there for Justin Litchie, as Litchie gonna get in there and get some damage as well, as looks like Jackie Whaley, the first driver to kind of go around here. He was rolling that middle groove. He was kind of moving down a little lower than everybody else, and down through corner 1 and 2. Looks like the 33 just getting a big run here through the center of the corners, just going to close the gap here, I think, a lot quicker than I think Jackie Whaley or himself was really thinking. He ends up getting into that left rear quarter panel of that 720. They get tied together. They end up going around right there after additional contact from that 17 ride. Is nowhere to go for the 17 machine of Dan Stifler. Stifler ends up with some pretty heavy contact right here as he slams right into those guys, and nowhere to go for the 2. He gets turned around. A little damage there to that 112 machine as well, and a few tore up race cars here as we do see the 2 jump back out onto the racetrack. Dan Stifler, he's coming down pit side. He's trying to get his car repaired and back out there onto the racetrack. Same with the number 13 machine of Evan Monaghan. Is Monaghan looking to slide back out there onto the Speedway as well. All those drivers will not go a lap down, as no caution laps will count here this afternoon. So another yellow flag and another restart about to get underway here for the Dirt Warrior Racing League's Wednesday night street fights. And right now it's a fight, especially through the middle of that pack. Drivers trying to race their way up to the front of the field. Other drivers trying to hold on to their car and keep it from falling even farther back in the pack here, as we do see Jim Revis. He's now up into 7th. He's up 12 positions here from where he started. He's got Blake Doyle right there to his outside. Blake definitely starting to work his way towards the front of the field. Hung out a little deeper in the pack there for that first, 15, 20 laps or so, but now starting to get onto that throttle, starting to work his way up through the traffic, in the 38 ride now finds himself inside the top 10. We'll see if Blake and Jim have something left in this one, as quickly the green flag back out into the air. The paint truck just getting off the racetrack in time, as here comes that 8 ride of Tyler Jackson. T-Jack out in front, continue to lead the way, looking to be that reflection of perfection here this evening at Cedar Lake Speedway. Long Franks there in second with Marco's pace, trying to hold on to that 3rd spot, but now rolling that middle groove right here, and you see that 76 of Brandon Van Houten getting a great jump in. He's able to keep himself to the outside of that 47, and now trying to use that outside lane to take position number 3 away from him. That's exactly what's going to happen. So the 76 of Brandon Van Houten now into 3rd as Marco's pace slides back into position number 4 by here comes Jim Revis. Revis working his way inside the top 5 as he's looking to clear that 7 ride of Jeremy Akins. It got tight there off of corner number 4, but everyone able to keep their cars pointed the right direction. And Jim Revis, he's not done yet. Quickly going after Marco's pace now for position number 4. Jim Revis absolutely hooked up here this afternoon, and now you start to see David Kologi starting to work his way up and through the field as well. That 112 ride now into position number 7, battling door to door with that number 7 machine of Jeremy Akins for position number 6. Looks like the 112 will slide into that spot. Very close right there there to almost make a contact with that 47 of Marco's pace. Luckily enough, able to avoid contact, keep that car rolling, and no troubles there for either of those drivers. As Blake Doyle right there ready to bounce as well. He's trying to get to the back bumper of that 7 right, looking to try to race his way inside the top 5 here this afternoon after passing a pair of 4s. It's right there behind him, the 4 of Ryan Howard, the 4 of Cody Wright. They're bouncing off each other down through quarter 1 and 2. The 14 of Terry Henry just on the outside of the top 10 is the 33 of Jared McCombs, the 720 of Jackie Whaley, the 20 right of Chad Puderbo, Mike Stockton, Dan Stifler, Evan Monaghan, and Justin Leachy rounding out our top 18 on the Speedway. Hannah Ownby, Kane Whitley, Kevin Bowley, and Cam Thompson all taking their cars off the racetrack. So we're down to 18 drivers left out there on the Speedway, and right now it is Tyler Jackson at the front of the field looking to try to pick up another big checkered flag here this evening. Some more issues deeper in the back, and there's the caution flag. Back out here, and one driver upside down. Jared McCombs upside down, turtle there on the back straightaway, and he'll have to take his car down pit side. Let's take a look back and see what happens here to the 33 as they're battling hard here just outside the top 10. The 14 and the 33 looks like they make a little contact there on corner entry, and then the 14 tries to slide up in front of them. Looks like that transfer going from that little bit of tackiness in that middle of the racetrack to sliding up into the slick stuff just loses that rear end. The 14 car basically turned around right here in front of that 33. Nowhere for him to go. He slams into him. They come down the racetrack. They collect Chad Puderbo right here in the 33. Down low ends up sliding into Evan Monaghan and then gets slammed by the 2 machine. And unfortunately, that's what's going to get him up and over on the racetrack. And unfortunately, that car is going to topple over and get turtled here on the backstretch. A big hit right there for him, and a couple more big hits. A few more drivers getting slammed into that one. Chad Puderbo really nowhere for him to go in that Dirt Warrior Racing. iRacing iFlag number 20 ride is bam, big hit right there, hard into that inside wall. Heavy contact as well between him and Monaghan. Heavy front end damage for that 2 machine as drivers trying to get their cars fixed up and back out there onto the racetrack as we'll get them all stacked up, racked up, and ready to go back to Green Flag Racing, this time by the start-finish line as T-Jack Tyler Jackson quickly back onto the lap pedal. So Tyler Jackson, another great restart, quickly jumps up, clears that number 10 Alon Franks, but Franks down low, looking to try to beat him down out of quarter number 2. As they're 2-3 wide back there behind our race leaders. Everyone trying to race their way to the front, and look out because here comes grumpy Jim Ravis. Jim up and into position number 3. What a run here for Jim as he started back in the 19th position and now trying to work his way inside the top 3, but Brandon Van Houten not wanting to give him a whole lot of room right here. Van Houten trying to keep himself in that 3rd spot, rolling that bottom groove, going to go for a bit of a slide job. The quick crossover out of the 57, that's going to create a little bit more contact back there behind him as Marco's pace had to get onto the binders right there to try to avoid him, and unfortunately for the 7 rider Jeremy Akins, he gets the worst end of that deal, goes from inside the top 10 to now battling back here for that 13th spot on the Speedway. He slid back about 6-7 spots right there after that contact, and unfortunately going to take a lot for him to try to race his way back up inside the top 10. As T-Jack out in front, there's contact back there behind him, though. Look out, Jackie Whaley turned back around. A pair of Dirt Warrior Racing rides getting tied together as the Grumpy Graphic 17 in the 304 Roots. Number 720 of Jackie Whaley and Dan Stifler. Looks like they get tied together here, and that's going to bring the caution flag back out on the Speedway. Let's take a look here as Jackie rolling through the middle of the Speedway here. Looks like the 18 going to send it in there, maybe a little too far, and unfortunately Jackie kind of coming down, trying to use a bit of a cut down lane there, kind of entering through the middle of quarter number 3 and 4, looking to kind of get that car straightened out and get a big run down the hill here, and unfortunately kind of comes down over the nose there of Dan Stifler. Stifler kind of running out of room. They come together, they run out of racing room, and you see that 720 ride go around and bring out that caution flag here once again. So we'll get them ready to roll here. Another big restart for T-Jack Tyler Jackson, looking to try to keep on hitting these restarts, keep on keeping these drivers back there behind him. Is what's good, Mr. Pratt? What's good? Pratt coming in, show the love. Says, hola, hola, brother. How are you, my boy? How you doing this afternoon? Mr. Pratt coming in, showing the love over there on YouTube. What's good, brother? How you doing here this afternoon? Hopefully you're having yourself a wonderful Wednesday. Hopefully you're having yourself a wonderful Wednesday here this afternoon. As Man, some great racing, some great battles out there on the Speedway. Each and every one of these drivers still right in the mix here. All it takes is one wrong move, one big wreck up at the front of the field, and you can go from, sitting back in 7th or 8th to all of a sudden finding yourself on the front row for one of these restarts yourselves, or maybe try to save those tires early on, maybe having a little bit left here as we're just past that halfway marker here this evening, and still a lot of racing action left to go here in this one. Just under 30 laps of battling here in the Wednesday night street fights, as you do see Jim Ravis try to quickly work his way back up to that outside groove, as Tyler Jackson able to keep Lon Franks and the rest of these cats back there at bay, as Brandon Van Houten able to clear that 57 right of Jim Ravis and stay in position number 3. A couple of drivers getting up into the outside wall right there, trying to keep themselves out of it, but once you kind of get into it, it's tough to pull that car off the wall, and luckily enough, they're able to avoid heavy damage and keep their rides rolling on the Speedway. David Kologi, hopefully I'm saying that right, probably getting it completely wrong, in that 112 ride. David rolls now inside the top 5 as he was able to work himself around Marco's pace, trying to slide back up inside the top 5 as here comes Ryan Howard. Blake Doyle, who was up almost inside the top 5 there for a little while, ended up with a little bit of damage to that 38 ride, now slides back in position number 8 on the Speedway. Jeremy Akins, after rebounding, after having some contact there of his own and going from about 7th all the way back to 13th, now back up inside the top 5 here himself. So the DWR machine of Jeremy Akins now rolls in the 9th position. Cody Wright right there behind him, the TNT Racing 5-6 Graphics number 4 ride. Rounding out our top 10 is the 2 of Justin Leachy back there in position number 11. Mike Stockton, Dan Stifler, door-to-door back here for that 12th position is Terry Henry in the 14, the 720 of Jackie Whaley, as Henry gets up hard into the outside fence, and it's going to open up the door here now for a little 3 wide down the back straightaway. 3 wide as that 33 of Jared McCombs, the 13 of Evan Monaghan, trying to work themselves around that full throttle number 14 machine of Terry Henry, trying to slide their ways back inside the top 15 on the racetrack. Chad Puderbo right there in that 18th position, as look out, Jim Ravis turned around, caution flag on the racetrack. Oh no, Grumpy Graphics Dirt Warrior Racing Dirt Panda number 57, that iRacing iFlag ride of Jim Ravis gonna go around here. He had raced his way up inside the top 3 there for a little while, and then trying to keep that 57 ride out of trouble, but looks like he's going to find some right here. He's rolling the high side nice and easy out of corner number 2, and looks like things are just going to close up there in a quick hurry. I don't think Marco's Pace, the 57 or the 112 ride, realized that they were 3 wide coming out of corner number 2. I think Jim thought he was going to be clear of all these drivers. Unfortunately, just wasn't clear enough, as things are going to get tight out of corner number 2 here. The 57, the 47 sliding upwards here. Unfortunately going to tank that right rear of Jim, not once but twice, and then that's going to turn Jim around. He gets a piece of that 112 ride, as all 3 of them getting a little bit of damage, but Jim getting the worst end of it as he does go all the way around up into the outside fence there. Him and Marcos both with some pretty solid contact, pretty good damage to both of their rides, and that's what's going to put us under the caution flag here again. As we're going to quickly go back to green flag racing here in this one, everyone trying to get lined up and ready to go back to battle, as Joseph Pratt says, it's Thursday here. It's Thursday where you're at. Oh, brother, that's crazy. It's already Thursday there, as he says, but thanks, peace, love you too, brother, love you too, my boy. Already Thursday there. Is it already Thursday there? I don't know. I guess it is. I guess it's probably already Thursday there. You guys are a day ahead of us, so that would make sense. It's probably early morning or mid-afternoon there, so I feel you. I feel you. I'm not going to say it just because I don't know if it's a trap or not, so I'm not going to get into it. But Tyler Jackson, T-Jack out in front. T-Jack, he leads the way here. Still out on the racetrack, man. He has been that reflection of perfection all evening long. The only driver to really give him any hassle or give him a run for his money here this evening has been Lon Franks. Franks continue to stay right there in position number 2, and maybe trying to save a little something for late in this race as Marco's Pace maybe starting to get onto the loud pedal now. That TNT Racing 47 ride, maybe with a little bit of damage after that contact, but that's not going to affect him as he's going to slide up in front of the 76 of Brandon Van Houten. Van Houten says, I'm not done yet. I want to battle still and want to work myself up into the broadcast booth, trying to come home with a solid top 3 run here this evening, and he's going to continue to battle door door-to-door here with Marco's Pace. Pace going to go for the big slider down through corner number 1 and 2. The 76 trying to line him up for a big run down the back straightaway into 3, where he's going to slide him again. And now there's going to be some contact. Look out! The 112 ride gets into Marco's Pace. That's going to turn Pace around. More drivers up into the outside fence. Mike Stockton with heavy damage. Heavy contact there for Jim Revis as well. And a bunch of tore-up race cars down here on the front straightaway. Oh, baby, I would call that one the big one right there. Is unfortunately David Kologi going to get in a little bit too deep. The 47 ride trying to cut back down the racetrack, trying to work his way underneath that 76. I don't think the 112 was realizing how much he was going to be checking up to try to make that crossover move, and unfortunately just comes in there rolling that slide job lane. Unfortunately, he's going to keep on sliding a little too much pace right here, and unfortunately gets a big piece of that pace car out there on the speedway, and that's where he is going to get that contact. That's where he's going to go around. Same with that 47 ride, and heavy contact down low. Ryan Howard nowhere to go, slams into that 112 machine. Jeremy Aikens doing a great job slicing and dicing his way through there. Unfortunately does get some pretty good contact with that 47, then up into the 2 ride on the outside lane as Marco's Pace. Oh man, look at the hits there to the outside. Nowhere to go here for Jim Revis. Nowhere to go for that number 89 ride as they're both trying to keep themselves out of it, trying to keep themselves pointed in the right direction. Unfortunately, things just close up a little bit too quick here. The 47 comes back up the racetrack, and oh man, heavy contact there. Left front, right front for both of those drivers. They're going to be down pit side potentially an extended period of time as we'll get ready to go back to battle. We'll get ready to stack them back up as Tyler Jackson out in front. Ready to go back to battle here in this one as Bar J and S Ranch. Bar J and S Ranch says, how can I join this league? Yeah, Joseph got right in there. He was able to quickly get into it as Joseph said, you afraid to get demonetized over the name of a country? Laugh aloud. Hey, you just never know. You just never know. You never know, brother. It's better to be safe than sorry. And with the liberalism of YouTube and Facebook and stuff like that, you never want to get too close. Yeah, you can join the league. It's free to everybody. It is 8 o'clock Eastern time. It's hosted lobby every Wednesday, and all you need to do is try to work yourself into the show there, and race clean, have a good time. And I believe they take the top 20, but sometimes they extend it to the top 23, 24, somewhere in there, and allow some more drivers to race. As Joseph says, by the way, would never set you up like that. Other broadcasters, though, yes, laugh out loud. Yeah, do it to the other ones. Do it to the other ones. I'm not busy enough up here under the broadcast booth, so I could use more on my plate. No, I'm just kidding. I'm pretty jam-packed up here. We're live every single night of the week, and sometimes multiple times throughout the day and throughout the night here on Peacemaker Gaming. We're pretty stocked up right now with leagues, and but it never hurts to get more in there. It would be really fun. It'd be really cool to try to break into some of those European leagues and stuff like that. Maybe get into some more stuff, throughout the middle of the day and open it up where maybe we can go back to full time and do this full time and have 2, 3, 4 broadcasts every single day and just keep things rolling out there Monday to Friday and throughout the weekends as well would be very, very good. As out in front, Tyler Jackson, he has been a missile all evening long, and T-Jack keeping himself out in front as Lon Franks there in position number 2 has been trying to work his way around him, has been waiting for a moment to kind of strike here once again, just hasn't been able to get the run, hasn't been able to get the restart to really put the pressure once again back on the rear bumper of Tyler Jackson out there on the speedway. Brandon Van Houten trying to hold on to position in number 3 as Blake Doyle now finds himself inside the top 5 as Doyle rolls there in 4th. Jeremy Aikens rounding out our top 5 as the caution flag will come back out as it looks like Evan Monaghan going to run into some problems here. Monaghan rolling down low here, trying to keep that car pointed in the right direction, trying to slowly but surely race his way up towards the front. Looks like he's going to kick out that rear end. The 47 Ryan's just going to get in there a little bit too deep. Not expecting maybe the 47's back bumper sliding out that far. It ends up getting a piece of him there. Just a misjudgment, miscall right there. Trying to avoid him. Unfortunately, couldn't get up into that middle groove quick enough and gets into the back end. Jacks up that 13 right. One of those rear tires kind of jump up off the dirt and kind of out of the groove. They just lose all that traffic, all that traction, and all of a sudden the cars just go around, and they're very, very light on their feet, especially when it gets this slick here at Cedar Lake Speedway. So a quick caution flag, not too much damage there for either driver, and we'll get everybody ready to roll here once again on the afternoon as Tyler Jackson continue to lead the way here, but he knows that some of these drivers back there behind him might have been saving their fuel and maybe saving their tires out there on the racetrack. Not as much fuel, more of the tires out there, and if someone like Blake Doyle or Brandon Van Houten, maybe Jeremy Akins, maybe if they got a little something left in the tank, maybe a little bit better, left rear tire or right front tire, maybe they'll have something left here for later on and maybe working their way up to the front of the field. But good news here for Tyler Jackson is that inside 10 laps left to go here of this feature event, we will see single file restarts here. So single file restarts inside 10 laps left to go. That is a big brink right there for Tyler Jackson. That's going to give him the inside and the outside free and clear of Lon Franks, and able to get a big jump in quickly, launching himself forward down the front straightaway, clearing a couple car lengths down into corner number 1, where Lon Franks couldn't get the run, couldn't quite try to get that drive in that restart to try and make a move down through that first set of corners. As down out of corner number 4, he will click off another lap, and we see 6 more laps left to go. 6 more laps of racing action here this evening for the Dirt Warrior Racing League's Wednesday night street fights. The Wednesday night street fights coming to a close here once again this afternoon as 5 more laps left to go. 5 more laps here for Tyler Jackson to pick up the checkered flag. A night where he has been the reflection of perfection, has led virtually every lap here this afternoon. Lon Franks gave him a run for his money there through the middle of this race, but after this track started to really start to get slicked up here, Lon's been right there in tow, back in position number 2. Hasn't given up a spot, but hasn't been able to get back to that rear bumper, trying to challenge Tyler Jackson for that race lead out there on the Speedway. As Brandon Van Houten looking to try to round out our top 3, is Blake Doyle back there in position number 4 and looking for more as he started back in 24th and now works himself up 20 positions inside the top 5. We'll see if he can try to join the top 3 here late in this race. Is Jackie Whaley making his way back up to the front. The 304 Roots ride back inside the top 5 here this afternoon is Jeremy Akins there in 6. Jared McCombs, after going upside down right there in quarter number 2, he's back up inside the top 10, rolls there in 7th. Dan Stifler, Marcos Payson, Justin Leachy rounding out our top 10 as we see that white flag fly the final time around Cedar Lake Speedway. Tyler Jackson will lead us down the back straightaway, nice and easy down through quarter number 3 and out of quarter number 4. The checker flag will fly in this week's Wednesday Night Street Fights. Winner is going to be Tyler Jackson. T-Jack getting it done and picking up the dub here this evening as he will pull that 8 ride, the beautiful DWR Dirt Warrior Racing Dirt Panda iRacing iFlying machine up and into Cedar Lake Speedway victory lane. He will be joined with his DWR teammate Lon Franks as Franks will come home in position number 2 here this evening, and Brandon Van Houten. Van Houten in that Twisted Speed Hot Carl chassis number 76 will come home in position number 3 here this evening. But it's all Tyler Jackson as T-Jack getting it done and pulling that 8 ride up and into victory lane here at Cedar Lake Speedway as we'll get ready to pull our top 3 up and into the broadcast booth for their post-race interviews. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you guys enjoyed that racing action and you haven't done it already, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that follow and subscribe button right now. Make sure you turn those bell notifications on. That way you never miss it when we go live here on Peacemaker Gaming. As we'll get ready to pull our race winner, Tyler Jackson, up and into the broadcast booth here for his post-race interview. Hey Tyler, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. Did you get a copy?
Hey, what's up, Aaron?
Not much. T-Jack, man, what a run, what a drive, man. Once again, being the reflection of perfection out there in these dirt street songs. Not an uncommon place or uncommon thing for you in that beautiful DWR iRacing iFlag number 8 machine, but here you are, pulling it up into Cedar Lake Speedway, keeping back Lon Franks and all these other fast cats behind you as you're able to pick up, a big win here tonight in the Wednesday night street fights, man. Take us back through this race. What's going through your mind right now as you're up there in victory lane?
Yeah, I was trying just to chill a little bit, but Alon was making me use my stuff up. This place gets pretty one lane. I didn't want him to get ahead of me. So yeah, we had, I don't know, probably 4 or 5 sliders, maybe more than that. And that's how you race with respect. You check up for the guy and he checks up for you the next corner. And yeah, really fun race. I think he was a little better than me at the end. He found the bottom or the middle there right at the end and looked like he was gaining on me. So luckily I was able to get down and kind of take his lane and take the win.
Yeah, absolutely. We saw you guys battling there. Lon trying everything to get around you, trying to take that race lead away, but you weren't having any of it, man. Throwing them right back at him, keeping them back there at bay. And unfortunately for Lon, after this racetrack kind of went a little bit more single file there towards the high side of 1 and 2, and that little bit of a middle to slider lane down there for 3 and 4. Seemed like he just couldn't find the runs that he was looking for to be able to get back through a rear bumper or trying to make another move down low and trying to throw that slide job late in this race.
Yeah, it's kind of similar to this track always. It seems to go top 1 and 2 and then slider 3 and 4. And if you're the guy leading, it's a lot of fun. If you're trying to pass people, it kind of sucks. You can be behind somebody and be a lot better than them and not be able to get by them unless you really root them out of the way. And we don't like to drive like that. So yeah, lucky we started on the pole. That was a lot of luck. Got some new steering wheel settings from Taylor Pratt, and they seem to feel really good tonight. So I got looking forward to the future. Hopefully we figured out what we've been lacking here in speed the last, I don't know, 6 months or something.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, looks like things were definitely working for you this afternoon. The wheel setting seems like they were definitely figured out, definitely helping you maybe out there on the speedway as you were very, very fast right from the drop of the green flag. Obviously picking up that top spot, being quickest in qualifying, starting out front, not having to work through any of that traffic or worry about really getting any damage on your ride. And there you are, pulling yourself up after 65 laps of hard-fought racing here. Quite a few caution flags, a lot of restarts, and a lot of great battle in there with Lon Franks, but no one able to get around you, no one able to take that race lead as you pull yourself up here into victory lane. Tyler, who would you like to thank for such a great run and strong performance out there on the racetrack?
Yeah, I was getting worried with those restarts. We had so many of them. I really didn't have any more tricks in the bag. Lon kind of had seen everything I can do. And early, he had a lot of brown up top to start in, which made me nervous. But luckily, we could diamond it off. Diamond it off just hard enough to stay out in front and get to the top, usually in 1 and 2. So that's probably what won us the race was the restarts. Thank all the guys at DWR for putting this on, you for the broadcast. I think my parents are watching, so shout out to them. And I want to shout out to Blimp, too. He was talking some shit to me. I don't race enough, so I had to get in here and get a race in tonight.
Absolutely. Well, we'll say that win right there was for Blimp here this afternoon. Tyler, congratulations on the dub here this evening in the Dirt Warrior Racing Wednesday night street fights. And hopefully we'll see you right back up here, potentially back in victory lane next Wednesday.
All right, see you next week, Aaron.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up for our race winner, Tyler Jackson, as T-Jack gets it done here this evening and pulls that DWR iRacing iFlag Dirt Panda number 8 machine up and into victory lane here this afternoon. As we'll get ready now to pull in our second place finisher, the man with the plan, the mastermind that makes everything happen here with the Wednesday night street fights and potentially more amazing racing here in the future on other nights. It's Lon Franks. We're going to pull Franks up here into the broadcast booth. Hey, Lon, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. Take a copy.
Hey, what's up, buddy? I got you.
Not much, Lon. great run, solid performance out there on the racetrack. Obviously qualifying in that second spot. You knew early on it was going to be a tough fight between you and Tyler Jackson. We saw you guys there for a while early in this race, battling slide jumps and crossovers and door-to-door action out there on the speedway, trying to take that race lead away from him, hoping that you could come out on top. And once this track kind of went back to that a little bit more of a one-lane style of a speedway, and you could be the driver out in front, using those restarts to keep T-Jack back there at bay. Unfortunately, the tables were reversed, and he was able to keep that race lead and keep you back there behind him here throughout this afternoon.
Yeah, I had a little something for him, I feel like, but it'd take me, 6-7 laps to get back to him, and then, caution or something would come out. But I don't know, it felt pretty good. It was good stuff. I know he had a couple cautions, but the racing, I think, was pretty damn good.
Yeah, the racing was definitely very good. We did see a lot of door-to-door, too wide out there on the speedway. Even late in this race, drivers were still, navigating, trying to use that inside berm right around the infield tires and produce for a lot of great racing out there on the racetrack. But, man, it was a ton of fun watching you and Tyler just throwing those slide jobs and crossovers there for quite a little while. Take us back through that. What was going through your mind during that battle between you and T-Jack for the top spot?
Yeah, I just had to keep trying it while I had a little breathing room behind me where I didn't have to play defense. But yeah, I just couldn't make it stick, without getting dirty, you know what I mean? But it was good stuff. I'm happy with it. I'm happy with a second. It's a good group of guys there.
Absolutely. Whenever you can come home in position number 2 and only having Tyler Jackson beat you out there on the racetrack, it's always a good night on the speedway. As long you park it up here in that second spot on the podium, who would you like to thank for such a great run and strong drive here this afternoon?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Grumpy Graphics, BladeNode.com, iRacing iFlag, Martin Sports, BCR Sim Products, 304 Roots, J&D Trucking, Junk Fabrication, JRE, the whole team at DWR, you for broadcasting, all the fans, followers, friends, and enemies, because if you ain't hated on, you ain't doing shit. So we enjoy it all.
Absolutely, brother. Well, Lon, a great race, a great run, and we can't wait to see you back out there on the racetrack next Wednesday. But I don't know, do you want to spill the secrets that you guys are potentially getting some more things in the works here for the future?
Yeah, sure. We're gonna start doing this Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Same time, same format, same everything. Typical league season starting to die off with the warmer weather coming, so we figure we'd put them on, and then we're gonna broadcast them as often as we can to give back to the community. We're not one to buy friendships like other people, and then just pass it out to the three of them. So we'll give back to the community and let family and friends watch, and we'll just have a good time, man. It's all it's about with us is just respect and having a good time.
Absolutely. That's all it's about right there, man. Having fun, enjoying the simulator, man, and having some great racing action now, not only on Wednesday nights, but Mondays and Fridays as well. And hopefully, with my schedule, we can get in as many as possible, or even if, I know Mondays are definitely going to be the tightest and the most questionable one, but heck, if somebody saves that replay and sends it to me, maybe I can do a voiceover of it and post it on Tuesdays or something like that throughout the middle of the afternoon and do like a replay recap kind of deal of it or something like that for all the fans.
Yeah, maybe we'll we might be able to work something like that in. We'll definitely talk about that. But yeah, whenever you are available on Mondays, we'd like you to join us. But if not, we'll see you Wednesdays and Fridays. We'll do what we can when we can.
Absolutely, brother. Well, Lon, great run here tonight, man. We can't wait to see you guys back in action next week.
I appreciate it, buddy. Good talking to you.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for our second place finisher, Lon Franks. Franks coming home here in position number 2 here this afternoon as we're going to get ready to pull in our third place finisher here this evening, Brandon Van Houten. Van Houten having a great run, getting that Napa Auto Parts Hot Carl Chassis number 76 right up and into the podium here this afternoon, rounding out our top three here this evening. The hard charger of the race, Blake Doyle right there behind him. Doyle coming in position number 4 here, up 20 spots from where he started. Heck of a drive there for Blake Doyle, going from 24th up and inside the top 5 there, and just missing out on a top 3 here this evening by just a little bit as him and Van Houten were door-to-door down across the line. As we'll pull Brandon in for his post-race interview. As Lori says, good job 76, cheered on that 76 right here this afternoon. Mama Bear says, way to go Tyler Jackson, and good run Lon Frank. Some great racing out there. Mama Schuller says, wow, what a race. Love Wednesday night street fights, and congrats to T-Jack. Absolutely huge congrats there to T-Jack. Huge congrats to all these amazing drivers making some great racing action here this afternoon as we'll get ready to pull in our third place finisher. Hey, Brandon, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. Taking a copy?
Yes, sir.
Brandon, man, a very solid run out of you here this afternoon. That 76 ride seemed like it was hooked up, seemed very, very fast right from the drop of the green flag as we were watching a battle basically right there in that top 5 battle all evening long. And then later in this race, a few drivers obviously getting into it. You were able to get a benefactor there of a few, incidences out there on the speedway, and then all of a sudden you slide yourself up and into position number 3. You battle with Jim Revis there for quite a little while. He goes around, he runs into problems, and all of a sudden, you're just holding on to that third spot, trying to keep Blake Doyle back there behind you, looking to try to cap off this top 3, and that's exactly what you were able to do here with a very strong performance this afternoon, man. Take us back through this race and what's going through your mind right now as you park it up here on the podium.
Dude, I can't even explain it. Truly, I wouldn't have gotten a top 3. It's just because, the sections weren't here, but we had a strong car. I should have saved a little bit early in the morning, but
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Definitely saving stuff out there on the racetrack, especially a track like Cedar Lake where, you're off the throttle a little too much. All of a sudden you give up too much time where it's tough to gain that back, especially when this racetrack starts to get a little bit more one lane out there on the speedway, and having the risk of, so many drivers right there nipping on your heels all evening long where you try to hold back, you try to run a little bit slower, you could all of a sudden get slid or have 3-4 drivers get around you there in a quick hurry.
yeah, they definitely made me work for it. Jim, Blake, and the 47, they made me work for it. I didn't expect Blake to get a run there at the end. He showed his nose at the last lap and scared me. But Tyler and Lon, they were just gone. There was nothing else I could do. My tires are gone.
Absolutely, just trying to hang on there at the end, and we saw you and Blake obviously door to door. Blake actually going around after contact, coming down across the line there as you guys were tight together, and you're able to just hold him off here to pull yourself up onto the podium here this evening, man. Is a great run, a strong performance, and a lot of great action out there on the speedway. All right, Brandon. Well, brother, it was a great run, a great drive here for yourself here this afternoon. Who would you like to thank for such a strong performance out there on the racetrack?
Man, I gotta thank my mom and dad, because if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have my setup. Gotta have a big thanks to Twisted Speed. We're just a new shop coming up, and if y'all guys haven't heard of us, y'all better keep a lookout, because we're coming.
Absolutely, brother. Well, great performances like this and more amazing runs throughout the Wednesday night street fights here in the future, and I'm sure it's going to open up a lot of eyes here to what you guys are doing over there, and we can't wait to see you back in action next Wednesday night. Brandon, enjoy the rest of your afternoon, and congratulations again on that third place run.
Yes, sir. You too. Thank you.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for Brandon Van Houten as Van Houten comes home in position number 3 here this afternoon as some great racing action. The DWR, the Dirt Warrior Racing League's Wednesday night street fights coming to a close here once again. There was a lot of punches being thrown. There was a lot of beating and banging, battling out there on the racetrack. And as the dust settles here at Cedar Lake Speedway, only one driver can claim victory here this evening, and that was Tyler Jackson. T-Jack, the Alpha Shark, getting it done and pulling himself up and into victory lane here on this night's Wednesday night street fights race. As ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I can't thank you guys enough for tuning in. Everyone coming in with the likes, the comments, the shares. I appreciate each and every one of you. As Blake Doyle says, I heart Peacemaker Gaming, and you drove a great race, Brandon. Thank you, Lon, and all the fellas. Got a heck of a run, heck of a race. As Blake says, Seth Castle is my side chick. Woo-hoo, baby. Hey, nothing wrong with having Seth Castle as a side chick, that's for certain. I don't know if I would date Seth Castle, but a side chick, that's probably okay. Uncle Bot, what's good, Uncle Bot? Uncle Bot coming in with that like on the stream as well. How are you, mister? How you doing this afternoon? It's ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Unfortunately, that's going to do it for us here in this one. We can't thank you guys enough for tuning in. All the likes, the comments, the shares, any of the new followers, any of the new subscribers. We can't welcome you enough here to the Peacemaker family, to the Peacemaker crew here this afternoon. And we will see you guys back in action tomorrow night as our Thursday night series. We'll get back to battle just before 9 o'clock Eastern time. We will see the amazing Hyper Shift Racing League battle it out, duke it out there on that one. I'm not sure where we're headed next week, but I do know we're going somewhere crazy. Where are we going? Where are we racing here? The Texas Motor Speedway. Whoo, baby, that's going to be a fun race. Texas Motor Speedway tomorrow night. That's going to be a lot of fun. Some great racing there. Going to be a ton of amazing drivers duking it out, battling, trying to put themselves up and into victory lane here on Peacemaker Gaming tomorrow evening. And hopefully I'll see each and every one of you guys there for some more racing action. But thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for watching. Peace and love, baby. Peace and love, ladies and gentlemen.
Roaring engines rip the night, burning bright, yeah, no stop. Wheels screaming, spit that fire, dirt and gravel, they pop. Oh, slick under the street lights, the shadows start to dance. Adrenaline like thunder, man, give me that last chance. Wednesday night, street fights, racing for the win. Broken steel and busted dreams, we wear it on our skin. Smell the fumes, taste the danger, hold tight to the wheel. This ain't no love song, baby, this is raw real. Crowds gather up like wolves, howling for that speed. Races, blood pumping, fast gasoline is all they need. Tracks alive like a monster, the dirt flies and bends. Ruthless turns, hard turns, savage till the night ends. Wednesday night, street fights, racing for the win. Broken steel and busted dreams, we wear it on our skin. Smell the fumes, taste the danger, hold tight to the wheel. This ain't no love song, baby, this is raw real. Underneath the moonlight, crowds roar so loud. Pride's in the throttle, not in faces of a crowd. A brotherhood of metal, sweat, gears that grind. Cross that line or get left behind. Cold air cuts the dawn, still our fires rage. Holding bruises like trophies, exhaling battle cage. The stands are empty now.